Doom the Dark Ages just got its full-length reveal during the Xbox Developer Showcase, and it is time that we talked about it. So let's dive into it. So I figured I'd make a quick video where I go over sort of the highlights of the things that I noticed in the about 11-minute reveal that id Software did during the Xbox Showcase. So here's a little something that I happen to know about this reveal that probably a lot of people won't know about, and that is that what they showed, at least at the first portion of the reveal, particularly in regard to combat, it was basically, from what I could tell, it was the footage that they showed off to people who physically attended QuakeCon, which at the time they called it pre-alpha footage. But a lot of it, particularly the part where you end up walking through the portion of a level and you actually see some combat, that looked pretty much exactly the same to me. I was actually happy to see it again because there were some details that I missed, some things that I got wrong about what I was seeing there, and so it's pretty interesting. But the fact that they used that footage, at least for a significant portion of the reveal, that tells me a few things. It tells me that back during QuakeCon in the summer, they were comfortable showing off the same footage that they showed now, which means they consider, apparently, those aspects of the game that you see to be basically close to release day finished quality. So that's pretty interesting, even though they were calling it pre-alpha back then. And so within that, I have mentioned this in some live streams, some of the things that I saw, but they show off, obviously, if you've seen it, they show the melee weapon system that they've created. There's flail, there's a mace, there's, hand-to-hand. I think there were 3 melee weapons altogether. I'll probably put the highlight in so you can see what they were, but I don't remember all 3 of them at the moment.
How about an iron flail? Or maybe an electrified gauntlet? Or even a doom spiked mace? That's right, we have 3 melee options that are part of a melee system, all on one input, complete with combos and upgrades, and it's totally awesome.
But the big takeaway from the melee system is that they've taken the glory kill system and they've made it so that you have full control over each aspect of it. So I think that's pretty cool. That's an aspect of the game I'm definitely looking forward to. I'd say it's probably one of the major overhauls that they've done. A lot of people, they think they want more of the same. A lot of people think they want something completely different. Ultimately, every developer has to strike a balance between the two, and it'll be interesting to see what they've done here with the innovation, taking old elements, keeping them, but changing them. I'm sure it's a tough balance to please fans, so I hope we like it. I think we will. And sort of as Hugo Martin was describing this system, particularly when he was talking about the shield, he was saying that the way that you use it is context-based, meaning that you control the whole thing with one button. So that's really interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing how that works. But I know that he talked about during, Doom Eternal, when he was talking about the development, he said, they streamlined the weapon system and the upgrade system a lot in Doom Eternal. He wanted to streamline it even more. And if you look at sort of the HUD, at least as it stands in this reveal, and you hear the way they describe it, particularly when they talk about, using one button for the whole shield system, I imagine they're doing that in other areas as well. And the HUD is not too complicated looking. And I imagine a lot of the game has been streamlined in that way, and that's something I look forward to. I don't like my games to be stupidly simple, but I do like, that word streamlined. I like when things are consolidated, where the upgrade system is really straightforward. The game that was revealed just before this, it was kind of funny. It was a full-blown, complex turn-based RPG, and, that kind of game with all those different systems that you have to navigate and the upgrades and stuff, that just bores me after a while. And, I like things, quote unquote, dumbed down the way Doom is, in that sense anyways, where the combat system is pretty deep and you have to develop some complex skills to be good at it, but the information you're taking in is not overwhelming. I think that's a balance they struck pretty well in Doom Eternal. And if they improved it here, that's even better. Another little thing that they mentioned was the difficulty system. Now, this I'm not sure how I feel about, and it's a way that, looks like a complicating of the game to me a little bit in a way that I don't know how I feel about, in that they have in the portion they showed, it basically was like a hurt me plenty difficulty, but then they showed all the ways that you could adjust different aspects of the combat to be easier or harder, where you can, extend stagger states or shorten them, different things like this. And, I'm not sure how I feel about that, because part of me kind of likes to be assigned a difficulty in the sense that I want to know what the developers wanted the experience to be like. I guess I kind of like when there is a right or a wrong answer as to whether or not something is at a certain difficulty level. If you play Doom Eternal, there's an easy mode and then there's a nightmare mode. And Hugo Martin would talk about it. He said, if there were no difficulty levels in Doom, it would probably be somewhere between ultra violence and nightmare. But basically, there's like a vision as to how hard the difficulty of the game is supposed to be. Now, I'm fine with a difficulty settings level system, but when it's adjusted in all these different ways, it's kind of difficult, I guess, potentially to compare yourself to another person. And there is sort of a competitive nature to the Doom culture as to who defeated the game, how quickly, on what difficulty level. And so, I imagine there's aspects of the system I would like, and a lot of people would like, but at the same time, I think there's sort of a certain settled nature of difficulty levels that I also like, in that if you overcame a certain hurdle. Obviously you can just max out all these settings and that'll be a challenge, but it just, to me, it might be unnecessarily complicated, but I'm not sure. We'll see how it works when we get to it. They also got into a little bit of the lore, and they confirmed the fact that this is obviously a prequel to Doom 2016, but the way they stated it is that it is going to lead up to, and I guess into, the timeline of the actual Slayer's Testaments that you read in Doom 2016. And so, I'm kind of curious as to what that's going to look like, as to whether it's going to literally go through the timeline that you see in the Slayer's Testaments, where it leads up to the betrayer doing what he does, and sort of how you get into the situation you find yourself in when you wake up in Doom 2016, or whether it's just going to sort of lead up into the beginning of them, or midway through them, or what. We'll see. But I'm fascinated to see sort of the details of that and what happens. And then finally, they did confirm what turned out to be a leaked date over the past few days. May 15th, this game is coming out, and I will most definitely be buying it, streaming it, making videos about it, all that good stuff. So if you're new to the channel, make sure that you like and subscribe if you like content like this. As this game sort of gets ramped up, maybe I will, go back into some Doom content, which, it's never really out of the game rotation when I do live streams, but, if people are playing it more, watching it more, wanting to catch up things before this game launches, then, maybe we'll get more views if we play some Doom content again. We'll see what happens. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and we will see you around the next one. Thanks for watching.